is enough said.
Happy Saturday, Heat Nation. Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Hope everybody's enjoying the long weekend so far. Hope you got some great plans going on, or if you're just gonna sit home and relax, hope you're enjoying that too. So kick back, relax, because off we go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Before we get started, you guys would really appreciate if you can like the video, subscribe to the channel. Would really mean a lot to me because we right around the corner that 4,000 subscriber mark. So I need you guys' help to get there. So a few things I want to talk about today. First and foremost, I want to talk a little bit about Bam Adebayo. As we know, Bam Adebayo has just won the All-NBA first team, defensive first team, from the NBA. He doesn't make the All-NBA team, but All-NBA defensive first team is definitely high regards, high respected. He's, again, one of the finalists for Defensive Player of the Year. So Bam Adebayo continues the show that he is one of the most fearless defensive competitors in the NBA. So kudos to Bam Adebayo. But another thing Bam Adebayo is our top recruiter, man. I mean, this was a job that you used to see from guys like Dwayne Wade, maybe a little bit, Shaquille O'Neal in the past, Alonzo Mourning as well. But damn, Bam Adebayo you're seeing he's been heavily recruiting players. He goes off the Team USA. He makes relationships with guys like Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard. Just to name a few, man. Bam Adebayo is one of the most likable guys in the NBA. Players want to play for him. You saw the whole thing last season with Damian Lillard. He wasn't requesting to come to Miami Heat because he wanted to play with Jimmy Butler, specifically. I mean, Jimmy and Dame are cool, but Dame wanted to come to Miami to play with Bam. He specifically said that in interviews. And we've noticed that this whole Donovan Mitchell spider watch we got going on is heavily because of Bam Adebayo. Now, yesterday on Twitter, what I like about Bam Adebayo is that he likes to troll on Twitter. He likes to have fun with fans, and it's really cool. One tweet in particular, y'all know where I'm going with this, was one fan was tweeting at Bam Adebayo saying that if you bring Donovan Mitchell to the Miami Heat, I will buy you a PS5. And his response was the Will Ferrell gif, where it was like, interesting. Bam Adebayo has mentioned in the past that he would love to play with Donovan Mitchell. These two have a great relationship. Donovan Mitchell's down here in Miami in the summer. They're usually playing together in the Miami pro game. So they got a relationship. And the fact that Bam Adebayo does something like that obviously is going to cause speculation. It's going to cause, eyes to pop up, ears to flare. I really think, you guys, that it doesn't really have anything to do with it. I just think it's trolling. This is trolling at its best. It's not something to say, oh my God, Bam Adebayo posted this on Twitter, so it means he's definitely coming. No, I don't think that's the case. I will say this, though. Trading for Donovan Mitchell puts you over that hump. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it in almost every video. This current Miami Heat team constructed, I feel, if they're fully healthy, with the correct lineup, having Tyler Hero commit to the six-man role. If Caleb Martin leaves, if you're able to bring Haywood Highsmith back, you get your 15th pick, maybe a big guy like Zach Edey, Kyle Filipowski, Kel Ware, just to name a few. You get a defensive stopper or a shooter with your $5.2 million exception. You bring back Kevin Love. You bring back DeLon Wright. You get a full season of Josh Richardson. You get 60 to 70 games of Jimmy Butler during the season. You get a healthy Tyler Hero, a healthy Terry Rozier, Bam Adebayo leading these guys. I feel that this team, fully healthy, can do some damage in the playoffs. Can possibly contend for an NBA championship. You get a big guy in the draft with this team to take care of that size problem we've had for years, we may have a shot. However, if you are able to trade for Donovan Mitchell, one of the NBA's best prolific scorers, one of the most dangerous players in the NBA, and put him with a 1-2 pick and roll punch with Bam Adebayo and have Jimmy Butler play his Scottie Pippen role? I mean, you see what I mean? It's the difference. Donovan Mitchell takes you from a team that can contend in the East and possibly make the NBA Finals to a team that's probably the favorites of making the NBA Finals and winning a championship. That's why you trade for Donovan Mitchell. I don't care what anyone says. I know that Donovan Mitchell may have not had the best playoff performances in the past, but look at the teams that he's played with. No disrespect to Utah and Cleveland, but none of those teams were championship level teams. They had shots. Some of the teams that he's been on has had shots. One particular year in Utah, I forget the year, I believe it was 2021 or 2022 maybe, but they were the first seed and they couldn't even crack it out of the playoffs. So you put Donovan Mitchell with this Miami Heat roster, with this Miami Heat culture, with Eric Spoelstra coaching. Remember that, you guys. Spo's a different type of coach. He gets the best out of his players. He got the best out of LeBron, and we thought we saw the apex of LeBron. He's gotten the best out of so many players. Kendrick Nunn, my God, I don't want to just blow out names. That just came up to my mind for no reason. But guys, you've seen him, Gabe Vincent, a bunch of players where Eric Spoelstra has developed and created and gotten the best out of. They go to different teams and they don't even crack the rotation. It's because of how great of a coach Eric Spoelstra is. You put Donovan Mitchell with that, you're going to get the very best out of Donovan Mitchell. Let's not forget he's in his prime, 27 years old. Bam Adebayo, who's 26, going to turn 27. These are two guys that now are solidifying your present and your future. So that's why you trade for a guy like Donovan Mitchell. But I've mentioned this in the past. Trading for Donovan Mitchell is going to cost you. Because Cleveland had to give up multiple draft picks to Utah to get that guy. So you're going to have to give something like that in return. What's the trade that we've talked about in the past? You're going to have to, because you're a first apron team, you can't go crazy when it comes to trades. You got to meet the salary lines. You're going to take Tyler Hero's $29 million contract. Attach it with Jaime Jaquez's $3.5 million. I know Heat fans. It's going to be super sad to see Jaime Jaquez go. A lot of us do not want to lose Jaime. But in a trade for Donovan Mitchell, you got to do it. He's the most enticing piece that we have. You also attach the 15th pick, which I'm not a fan of, because if you bring Donovan Mitchell here, I want to get some size next to Bam. I don't want Bam to be the center. If you bring Donovan Mitchell, I want Bam at the 4 to play his natural position. Because I want that 1-2 combo to be dangerous. And I think it'll be perfect with a Kel'el Ware, a Kyle Filipowski, or even a Zach Edey. But if you got to give it up, you got to give it up. And then you attach 2 future first-round draft picks on top of that. So you're going to be giving up 3 first-round draft picks, Donovan, Tyler Hero, and Jaime Jaquez Jr. Maybe you don't need to give up 3 first-round draft picks, but remember, you guys, there's going to be competition. It's not going to be like Damian Lillard last year. It's not going to be like where he says, only Miami or bust. I mean, we don't know that. He hasn't even publicly come out and requested a trade. This is all speculation, you guys. You know, this is fun off-season talk. This is something that, hey, this may be a possibility because it's been linked before, but we don't know if it's going to happen. The last thing that we heard from Sean's was that Cleveland is trying to get Donovan to sign a 4-year contract extension at the max. They just fired J.B. Bickerstaff. You don't really know what's going to happen. But because of all that uncertainty, because they fired their coach, maybe it may mean that Donovan Mitchell may see that the writing's on the wall. Only time will tell. But there's something else that's come up that may mean that the Miami Heat don't have to give up the farm. A report was put out in Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report is a very famous, credible news source. When they put stuff out, it's not stuff that's garbage or lies, I would say. So it's like I tell you guys, whenever I bring up something on here, it's because, it's from a credible source. The Atlanta Hawks are looking to maybe, I don't want to say blow things up, but retool. They traded for Dejounte Murray a couple years ago. I guess they're seeing that with Trae Young, it's not working. It's kind of similar to the Miami Heat, having Tyler Hero and Terry Rozier. These two players really do the same thing. And Trae Young and Dejounte Murray, even though they're a little different, even though they're kind of similar, they're a little different as well. So it's not really working. Now, we really can't say that about Tyler Hero and Terry Rozier because we haven't seen a full season of these two together. But from what we saw, we were seeing that it was maybe better for one of them to come off the bench rather than both of them starting. So the Atlanta Hawks are possibly looking to trade either Trae Young or Dejounte Murray. Now, it's known that Atlanta is more inclined to keeping Trae Young. So they may be looking to trade Dejounte Murray. Dejounte Murray, you guys, I go back into the trade deadline this past year, back in February. We were constantly talking about Dejounte Murray on this Miami Heat roster. I was always saying that Dejounte Murray would be a great fit on this roster. The guy last season, he averaged 22.5 points a game, 6.5 assists, 5.5 rebounds. He's not really known for his three-point shooting, but he's improved every year. This past season was one of his best career averages. He averages 36% from the three-point line. Let's not forget, he also is a defensive pest. He averaged one of his career lows this past season, 1.6 steals. But he's known to get over the 2 steals per game hump. He's been an all-NBA defensive elite player when he was with the San Antonio Spurs playing under Greg Popovich. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a big deal. Why do I feel some of these players trading for them is the right move? Because of Spo. Eric Spoelstra gets the very best out of his players. You trade Dejounte Murray to the Miami Heat. You put him in this Miami Heat system, in this culture with Eric Spoelstra, and Spo's going to get the very best out of him. Now, the real question is, what do you trade for a Dejounte Murray? This dude is averaging pretty much the same contract as Tyler Hero. So what you're going to try to convince Atlanta Hawks in is, hey, we think that our player fits better with you, and your player fits better with us. So why don't we do this? Let's exchange Tyler Hero for Dejounte Murray. See if it works. Let's give it a shot. In return, we will flip you a future first-round draft pick. I don't want it to be this year's pick. If you guys are noticing something about this video is that I don't want to trade this 15th pick. I really don't want to. Even if it's for Donovan Mitchell. Because I like this draft. I love the potential in this draft. I see a lot of guys in this draft. And believe me, we're going to do a segment next month about the draft. And I'm going to give you guys all the details about some of these players. But there's so many players in this draft that I feel playing next to Bam Adebayo, a lot of these big guys, is going to set us up for the future. So trading for Dejounte Murray may mean that you won't have to give up the 15th pick. You can just sell Atlanta on, look, we'll give you a future first round draft pick and then a pick swap in 2030. Because one thing that Atlanta can see is like, well, this Miami Heat roster may bomb in a few years. 2030 may be a bad year for them. We can get a good pick then. Teams look at that. Some people in the comments may call me crazy. 2030, that's crazy. Nah. Teams look at that, fam. Teams look at that. That's very important. When you look at a team for a trade and you think, man, this may bite them in the ass in 4 years and we'll have that pick. It might benefit us. And it doesn't hurt an NBA franchise having 2 first-round draft picks any year. I mean, it's just a great thing. So I want to hear from y'all, Heat fans. Who would you prefer to trade for? Would you prefer to go all in for a guy like Donovan Mitchell, knowing the potential that he Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler can have. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that is a big three. But trading for Donovan Mitchell may mean you're going to have to give up Tyler Hero, of course. Jaime Jaquez Jr., Miami's favorite son, who just shaved his mustache and goatee. What the hell? This year's first-round draft pick, which I don't want to give up, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. And then probably 2 more future first-round draft picks. And let's not forget, the Miami Heat do not own our 2025 and 2027 pick. So if you trade this year's, 2028's, 2030, we ain't got no future as far as the draft goes. Remember that. So you are going to have to go all in for Donovan Mitchell. But remember, he's 27. Bam's about to be 27. You're going to get 5 to 6 years out of that. So that's something to think about. Or would you guys be more inclined to trading for a guy like Dejounte Murray if it means all you have to give up is Tyler Hero and a future first-round draft pick? Now, another question you can ask is, hey, Dejounte Murray, isn't he like 6'3"? Terry Rozier is 6'1". How the hell is that going to work? Don't Atlanta have that same problem? Yeah. You can't start both of them together. You're going to have to convince Terry Rozier to come off the bench. Ladies and gentlemen, Duncan Robinson is our starting shooting guard. I don't care how this roster stays. If it stays the way it is, if you trade for Donovan Mitchell, if you trade for Dejounte Murray, if you trade for another guard, I don't care. Duncan Robinson will be the starting shooting guard for this team next season, even if you keep this team the way it is. Terry Rozier, I know he's making $24 million, but that's just the way the NBA is now. 6 men are going to be getting paid that much because they provide so much firepower for you off the bench. The 6th man is one of the most important pieces of your team. He's just as important as one of your starting players. Sometimes the 6th man is one of your best scorers on the team. That's what these people need to understand, and that's what these players need to start understanding. It's not always about being a starter. It's about finishing. It's about closing, and it's about winning. So that's how it's going to work. So I want to hear from you, Heat fans. Who do you prefer? Donovan Mitchell giving up the whole farm, or Dejounte Murray and maybe not having to give up so much? Let me know in the comments what you think, you guys. Please comment. Come on. I love talking. I love debating. We love to go on some blows, you guys. So I really love it. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Click that notification bell to get all your boys' updates. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your Memorial weekend. And that is enough said. Stay positive, Heat fans.